What up, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday Night Show with Lunatic Froggy, Angie Gamer,
Hi.
and Wishful Thinking.
Hello.
Today, we're going to have a wonderful discussion on the hardships of relationships, young and old. And this is actually brought to me, my attention, by a 16-year-old boy. Not my son. He's had his own hardships. But as I looked through it, and me and Angie had that whole conversation about being caretakers and patients of the caretakers in relationships, there's hardships in every relationship. So we have a quite interesting relationship because not only are Angie and Wishful married, they're also dating the same guy. They have a polyamorous relationship. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you guys make that work?
Well, the guy doesn't take shit, so
Yeah, right.
if we decide to do this argument thing, he'll walk off like, okay, y'all handle that. He don't play that, okay? His love is for both, and it's not one over the other. And if you're wrong, he'll tell you. I don't care which one it is. And you don't spare the feeling thing, like, okay, listen, I'm gonna spare you your feel. Nah, if you wrong, he'll come up to you and tell you, yo, you were wrong. You shouldn't have said that to her. Or you were wrong. You gotta understand her feelings as well. He will tell you it. He's very good with that.
Which I think actually helps out in the dynamic of your guys' relationship. And I mean, Roy and I kind of have the same thing. Like, Anna was part of one of our discussions where literally people were sending me things and Roy was a little hurt by it because of the simple fact that he feels like he's not adequate enough. And it's not even that, it's just people send me stuff. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. And he's like, I'm not jealous that they send you stuff. I just feel inadequate. But at the same point in time, if they're going to be stupid enough to spend their money and send stuff to you, I guess I have to live with it.
They're not being stupid. Sometimes it's just their generosity and their kindness.
Right. It's generosity and kindness, but he looks at it as, well, what do they want in return from you?
But see, here's the thing. Not everybody wants something in return. There are some people who are just generally kind like that will just give because they feel that they can help.
Exactly.
That everybody has a motive, like, oh, I want something in return. There are some people that, literally just actually do it because they're being kind.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, we had a long discussion about this, and he's like, I'm okay with it, but every once in a great while, I gotta remind you to not accept so much, because, homie, I have feelings too.
Yeah.
But then we talked about earlier on it, when before we moved down here, we talked about having a polyamorous relationship, and he goes, "You're too fucking jealous." I'm like, I am not.
Well, we say there's no moments of jealousy, but there is.
Yeah,
Everybody
there is.
gets jealous at one point in time in the relationship. And what's
I mean,
making it
there are times where you might feel like this person is giving this person more of your time than this person is giving that person that more of your time. But
right?
it's So each one of y'all have differences, like different likes, different activities that y'all do. Like me and Frankie, we like what is it? God
Anime.
and anime. So we are really into anime and Godzilla. So we could sit there and watch Godzilla movies and animes and even old martial art movies because I grew up on it, or Doctor Who because I grew up on Doctor Who. I grew up on monster movies and kaiju movies and anime. So I'm used to them. And Angie likes horror movies and movies I do not tend to watch. I'm sorry, I don't watch those because I movies like that give me nightmares, literally.
So she watches the horror and the cartoons because I know she watches some cartoons with them.
Yeah,
Um,
but there are
We're
cartoons
gonna
that
be
me and
watching
Frankie like.
Minions soon.
From
what was that, Andrew?
We're gonna be watching Minions soon.
Woohoo!
The new
me and
Minions
Frankie
movie.
like cartoons, but we have different cartoons. Like I like GI Joe, like he likes GI Joe, and retro cartoons like GI Joe and Transformers because I was grew up on that era. So we have different types of things that we all watch.
Right. So at the end of the day, it literally comes down to the basis of who watches what and
Yeah.
equal time and all of that stuff. And I mean, I already pretty much have a polyamorous relationship with Roy and work, um, because he's always working on something. He can't stay idle.
Yeah, that tends to be my issue that I'm kind of always writing or doing schoolwork. So I tend to not have my time to the
Right.
two. I'm usually in my room. You'll hear me wrestling with papers doing schoolwork or I'm writing. It's just something I do.
But they also make time, they understand that and they appreciate you for what you do and they make time for you in that way too. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody makes time for each other, but part of the hardship that comes in nowadays is the cheating, the lying, the stealing, the shh, don't tell my significant other I just sent you $300. And then they're like, well, where'd that money go? And you're like, I don't know where to go. I know, especially with my son, he had a girl that was, oh, I want to date you. Oh, I'm going to date you. And then, like, oh, my mom, she'd come up with every reason why she couldn't date him, but was constantly telling him, I want to date you. Why are you leading my son on? And that's all that was a huge lead up. And that's where a lot of people are having the hardships of the relationships is because the communication and the openness is gone. It's not existent anymore.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Hmm.
Like if y'all see Roy with me,
Yeah.
right? He checks on me constantly and I guarantee within 20 minutes he is over at the neighbor's house doing some work. It won't take him long, but he will come in here, crack open the door, and make sure I'm okay. You don't get that out of partnerships anymore. They're so glued to their phones or the computers or PlayStations or bars that they don't realize what they're doing to their relationships. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But no, like, um, the 16-year-old I was talking about, I go, how have you mentally been doing? And he goes, I've been doing a lot better since I've been mentally single. And the reason he can't say physically single is because of the simple fact that she's out of state. But he feels mentally single because she's not there. She's not around harassing him. She's not nagging at him. And I talk to you guys all the time, and I never hear the nagging or the arguing or the I told you to do
we
this.
have them, but
you really think we're gonna do that in front of you? No.
No, yeah, that's one thing we try to keep that as a, yeah, what is it in my house stays in my house. I'm not
Right.
going to put that as for the front street for everybody to hear, okay? That's something between me, gamer girl, and my significant other. Unless they tell me otherwise, yeah, what we have going on in our home should stay in our homes. Not everybody needs to know what is going on within your homes.
Roy
That's a
just
big
don't give a
problem.
shit. Roy don't give a shit. If he has
But
an
that's
issue with
another
some,
problem. A lot of these women and men, when they have an issue, they'll go on Facebook and blow up their Facebook talking about their business all over Fort Street.
oh
Then
yeah,
why everybody is saying so. That's because you put your shit out there.
Man, what about the couple around the corner that comes out every 1 o'clock in the morning and starts arguing?
Oh yeah.
like, keep that shit in your fucking house.
Yeah, that's what we saying. We're like, yo, listen.
It gets what shit.
Hold on, guys. I gotta pause for a second.
Oh, okay. So after they get finished arguing at 2 o'clock in the morning, they go back in their house, start a lovemaking session that the whole fucking neighborhood can hear.
One time they had to call the cops because they were so loud. Everybody thought the girl was being murdered. Okay, no offense, the girl sounded like she was being murdered. She was hooping hollering.
They do that shit to get attention, and that's exactly what it is they want fucking attention.
Okay, but damn.
Right, like at what point in time do you just say, go fuck yourself and, go get attention somewhere else?
Like, I understand you want to get your dude off and whatever y'all doing, but goddamn, do you have to literally like involve the whole neighborhood with you?
Hey, some people are cooks, okay? Some people are cops. And what those people are the ones that they enjoy getting off knowing other people are either listening or watching. And it's like, I have better things to do. I could go read a book that probably has a better sex scene than what you're actually doing right now.
I mean, come on, man.
That's another thing that a lot of people let die in a relationship and is the romantic side of it. And I'm not talking passion making, love making. I'm not talking that. I'm talking the slow dances. I'm talking the gentle caresses. I'm talking the, cuddling up and watching TV. I mean,
I'm not a person of touches. I don't know. I'm not a.
Okay, but what are your words of affection? Or what are your signs of affection? Like, some people their affirmation of affection is literally service. AKA service dogs. And where they wait on you or they go get you things and
that would be my baby. Her thing of affection is service. She'll come up here and be like, do you need coffee? And she'll go grab my cup and make coffee for me. Or if there's dinner downstairs, she'll make me a plate of food and then come up, here you go, sweetheart, dinner's served. Or something of that nature. Mine,
that's also caretaking.
Well, that too, but for us, is also a service of affection.
Right.
because of our culture that we study.
Well, no,
So
that's what I'm saying. Caretaking is part of service of affection, because like Roy, I mean, he don't have to do the shit he does. He didn't have to build me a desk that was more suitable for my room, so that way, in case I had a seizure, I had more ample room to fall on the floor if need be. He didn't have to make sure that my bed was comfortable. He don't have to bring me food all the time when I'm
echo.
hungry. Those are all
Cancel the
signs
alarm.
of
It's PM.
his that's how he shows affection to me. Mine is, unfortunately, I like
No,
to
thank you.
bite. I like to lick. I like to bite. Joke around.
Yeah,
That
that's
kind of
also
stuff.
me.
Yeah, I know Angie loves. Me and Angie has gotten into this conversation about biting.
Me, my thing is, I don't like confrontation. If I can avoid confrontation, I will literally avoid it like the plague.
Right. I
I'm
don't
a
think
person.
anybody. Well, I can't say that. There are a lot of people that do love confrontation,
I do
and
know. I will avoid you like the plague.
but and I hate to say this, but like Amber Reed, and it's been coming out more and more and more of how all of her girlfriends that she had were of the caretaker. That's how they showed love. They showed love with by like doing little things for them, and they thought her way of showing love was by buying them things. Oh well, that's one way I love showing Roy. I love him is by, oh, Roy would love this, and I buy it for him, and then I bring it home, and hey, here's your treat. It's simple little things like Peeps. He loves Peeps, so when there's Peeps, I get him
Anna does
Peeps,
that too.
Yes,
and
why this is a thing of perfection is more of buying things. If I see
right,
something that Angie likes, I'll say, "Oh, Angie will like this," and I'll
right,
go buy
Also,
it because it's something she likes.
Angie doesn't really like to buy things for herself, so
I'm
right.
trying to get her to do that, so I was like hint by buying it, and then like you should get more of these. Try to hint her like, "Here, you should buy more of these for yourself." Just try to hint it to her.
But
Sometimes I'm not that subtle, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm not that subtle.
right, but like those are all signs of really good affection, and that romantic side of it.
But see, also sometimes we also get stuck in our ways. Like I will admit, I am like that. I am very bad at that. I'll get stuck in my ways, and they're telling you something that could be benefit to you, but you're so stuck in your freaking ways that you're not understanding that they're trying to help your ass, but you're sitting there arguing with them like, dumbass, they're helping you.
usually
Right.
Why are
always
you
once
arguing with
a
them?
week.
They're helping you.
And sometimes legitimately, this is my word of advice to everyone is, if somebody's like, hey, maybe try doing this or try to do that or try to do this, and you're like, no, 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 step back and realize that maybe they're trying to help you before it's too late. Because like, God rest my soul, my dad was a stubborn asshole to the fucking T. It was his way or no way.
I'm that
But
way. Stubborn
he
to the
would
key.
do things to help encourage me to like maintain a house. I was I was a 14-year-old making $250 a week cleaning houses, cleaning the house. Okay. But it taught me how to clean house. And when I was with my ex, my first ex husband, I did a really good job at keeping my house clean. It wasn't until I really fell into a depression that I just let it go. And that's when I got with my second ex. And I actually regret that. I regret it, but I don't, because man, Donnie was an amazing man. He was like a dad to me. He was always there. He brought me pizza when I had Jordan. Okay. My ex was outside smoking weed. Oh wait, that was when. No, he was outside smoking weed when Jordan was born and when Charles was born. So I mean, if that doesn't tell you what kind of man he was. And then when I met Roy, he helped me get out of that depression. And he helps keep the house clean, and he cleans my room. Even before it was his service, or, you know, he got paid to do the shit, he still did that shit. Because my mental trauma triggered a lot of things. But again, like I say, service. But it's the little things in our relationships with each other. And it doesn't have to mean like relationships with, you know, your significant other. Don't forget, you have children and mothers too.
Mm-hmm.
For those that actually talk to their mother, or for the ones that have kids, remember, they don't know what service of, you know, like, they don't know how to show love unless you teach them how to show love. And
but there is a thing of, there is love and there is abuse of love. Where they use their love, they try to use it to kind to manipulate. You have to know the difference between the.
Oh, I do that shit all the time to Roy. Do you love me? What do you want?
I don't like that.
Burger King.
Really? Because you've done it.
Yes, I have done it, and I hated it. And you have called me out on it all the time. If
and
I do, yes, you will call my ass out on it.
Hold on. And what about all the times I did not call you out on it?
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, there's people like me who don't use it like in an abusive way.
No, she does. I love you. Okay, what do you want? A cup of coffee?
That's that I do that. Do you how much do you love me? Because I know
that I do that
me.
when I want
I just want to know, am I worth a fucking cheeseburger? Okay.
That's what I do when I want coffee. Like, I'm about to do it right now. Like, how much do you love me, baby? Because I want some coffee.
I do it when I bring her a gift.
Right. Like, or if there was one day I was in Walmart, I had the fucking money on me. We didn't have no fucking bills piled up, none of that shit. Cars running great, the whole 9 yards. Fucking seen a nice stereo system. I said, baby, I love you, but you're gonna fucking hate me. And I'm in Minnesota, and he had to figure out what the fuck I was talking about all the way back to Iowa. Or
now, the funniest thing what me and Angie would do is that, okay, like, we could be mad at each other. This is the funniest shit.
Oh, we can be absolutely fucking mad at each other.
We could be pissed off at each other. I won't talk to her. She won't talk to me. We'll be at this moment where we're just like really pissed off. She'll go making coffee. You want some fucking coffee? Yeah, I want fucking coffee. Here, I love you. I love you too. We'll walk over there.
Take the goddamn motherfucking coffee and shut the fuck up.
Take this coffee, shut the fuck up, and we'll walk off on each other. It's fucking hilarious sometimes. One time we did this in front of one of my friends.
one thing I do
We're
want to
not actually
classify.
arguing, it's breaking the ice.
Right.
It's breaking that ice. But it's funny because my friend was sitting there looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the hell am I looking at? We literally are screaming this out, and then we kissed each other and walked off. And then she's like, "You two okay?" Because she's like,
Yeah,
"What
we're
the
okay.
hell?"
But I
We're
do want to
okay.
I do want to bring back that love, love of abuse. And the way we're talking, that's not abusive.
No, that's
The,
not.
we're talking, the love of abuse is beating the shit out of somebody and saying, "But baby, I love you. I didn't mean to do it.
Or emotionally manipulating
or
a person.
emotionally manipulating somebody. But baby, if you love me, you would do this for me." Like, that is a form of love of abuse. Another form of love of abuse, and I hate to say this, is people who literally people are going to get pissed off at me for saying this, but especially with children, when they come from a shitty situation and they grew their kids up in a shitty situation, and all of a sudden they get their fucking, either they get money, a good guy that has money, or better things. Well, you should get a better car. Well, homie, how many times did we get stranded fucking going down I-95 or I-65 because the fucking tranny dropped? How many times how many times were we fucking out there at 7 o'clock p.m. looking for your ass? How many times were we out there doing this or doing that because you decided you were better off doing something else? You can't tell me how to raise my life when your life was in shambles until you got to a better place. And you didn't get to a better place by changing. You got to a better place by love. I've gotten to a better place by changing the ways I am. Every morning I write my son a letter in Viking. Every morning, even though my daughter ain't here and she can't read it, I write my daughter a letter. And I'm going to give it to her on her wedding day. And then I'm still going to continue until the day I die writing these kids letters. Because when I die, they can look back and see how much love I have for them. Because I took time out of my life to write them a letter every day. And so people can change when they grow up in a love of abuse.
Some people want to change that cycle of
But
abuse.
some people don't. Some people want to just continue it.
Yeah. There are some people that will live in that thing, or toxic people, you will call them. That is people who are so toxic that you cannot be around them because no matter how much you try to, live your life to the fullest, they are going to be toxic and want to pull you down with them. It's like the Battle of Crab thing from the movie Romeo Must Die. The brother said to his sister, to the guy, there are a battle of crabs, and every time one crab goes up the other one will try to pull him down because he's trying to get to the top. That is the same with toxic people. They will pull you down because they're trying to get to the top, and they will do anything at any means to get you down. So
or they want to pull you down so you're at the same level they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
let's take somebody who has a great fucking life, right? And I'm talking bills are always paid, car never breaks down, they're able to trade the car in constantly. Great fucking life. And then you got somebody who struggles with life, but they have like their bills are always paid, their kids are always taken care of, But the difference is the excess money throughout the month. Like a rich person will have more money than a poor person.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Those people who have all this excess money,
don't know what the fuck to do with it.
Majority of them are not happy because you can have all the money in the world and still be as miserable as ever. But you could be the most poorest person in the world and be as the happiest, go lucky person I have ever seen. There was this guy who was down in Philly that he is homeless. But this guy, every time you see him, he's always with a smile. He's always very kind and he's always living his life to the fullest. And one day when we were out there, I asked him, how come you are always so happy despite your situation? He said, because you know what? I'm alive. Because you know what? It could have been much worse than this. And you know what? I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And you know what? I had to praise him on that one because that's true. You know, you can have all the money in the world and sit there and praise and say, oh, I'm having a great life. But, you know.
Are you really?
Exactly.
See, and I know a lot of people who have gone from very, very poor, I'm talking living off of food stamps, to, oh shit, I got a bunch of money, and guess what? They forget that they got that money from a loved one that passed away or from a lawsuit, and they forget that before they had all that money and they could buy whatever they want, they had to struggle for life. But then you got people out there who are struggling for life, or fucking rich and just miserable, and it's because money can ruin a relationship. As a matter of fact, Roy's first relationship, he divorced her because she was stealing money from him. He won a lawsuit because a cop slammed into his bike, pinned him against another car, broke his leg in 32 places. His leg was pinned up. Okay, so he won a lawsuit. His girlfriend was taking 500 here, 300 there. She was doing drugs and gambling.
Our boyfriend told us about an ex like that.
And when you stop and think about it, and I get this all the time, because as y'all know, my hair changes color with my personality. I don't give a rat's ass. That's how it is. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. My hair changes constantly. Matter of fact, it was purple for the longest time. Now it's blue, and now it's going to be purple and blue. Don't ask me why. It's the one thing I can control in my life right now. But if you look at me and say, I need $5 and I have $5 on my card, I'll give you that $5. Sure, let's go over to the register. I'll pay for you. There was a lady that had like $37, including gas, and her card declined. I just paid it. Did I have the extra money? No. But why? Because I did a good deed for somebody that needed it. And good deeds in relationships are non-existent. Trust in relationships is non-existent. Everybody's out there just to bang. Literally. I have seen girls in my son's school literally just want to fuck. That's all they want, is they just want to fuck. And then when they get turned down, it's, oh, he touched me inappropriately.
Yeah, see, I don't like that because if something really does happen, there are people who are not believed, and that
Right.
shit goes
Exactly.
to some bad,
Like my
bad
son,
shit.
like we told my son, because this happened this year to my son. And matter of fact, in the last 4 weeks. Now, if anybody knows, my son has not been to his school in 4 weeks. He don't even go to that school no more, homie.
Damn. Like, he don't even go here.
And they're like, this lady was, or this girl was like, oh, well, 2 days before spring break, he touched me inappropriately in the hallway. The cop was, wait a second, 2 weeks or 2 days before spring break. Now, the cop that's at their school was in the meeting when I pulled my son out of that school and said, it's unsafe, put him in options. It took 3 weeks to get him in options because of spring break. Okay. So the cop's like, he ain't registered here anymore. I know it was before he left. Well, that wasn't 2 days before spring break. Which hallway? No, it was 2 days before spring break. And the cop's like, you're a lying ass.
But that makes it bad because, one, that shit could get people into some serious shit. There is shit going on YouTube now with that shit. Somebody made accusations about two other creators, relative and another as a subscriber, and that shit going. And I'm like, yeah, that shit can be dangerous. You
Well,
do shit like that, and you can get somebody killed or hurt because
right. And
somebody could take that shit seriously and think that shit is happening, and then a whole set of shit goes down and it didn't even happen. So yeah, when you make accusations like that, make sure you have receipts with that shit. Don't be sitting there making up shit like that because
right.
that
And
puts
nowadays
somebody in danger.
that's all fucking women do. And it's pathetic. And that's why Jordan's like, nah, I ain't even doing that shit, man. And that just honestly, I mean, there's so much coming out nowadays of teachers, doctors,
Pastors, deans,
pastors, police
deans.
officers,
I'll tell you
everything being
something
like,
that is very unique. When I was younger, I literally got assaulted by a therapist, a hypnotherapist.
do you want that out there, the whole entire world, or do you want me to edit that? Or
You can put it out there. I do not mind.
all
It's
right,
a cautionary tale that, yeah, listen, even those that we trust as professions can do that kind of shit. There
well,
are professions.
not to get off that topic, but kind of to get off that topic because it's off the topic of our topic. Let's talk. Let's talk about non-consent in a relationship. Now, I have heard one too many fucking times, including in two of my own marriages. You're my wife. You're gonna fuck me whether you like it or not.
No. If you say no, that is your body. That means that
That
no, no.
that is 90% of the reason women are leaving their men. Men, no means no. Women, no means no. And I've seen it go both ways. If you're constantly begging for it, manipulating them to it, that's going to kill your relationship. I don't care who you are.
And you know what the sad thing is, too? A lot of these girls or women who are in certain cultures or religions, they are mandatory to do this. And this is so sad because even if they're saying no because of their culture or religion, they have to, like, okay, in
Why do
certain,
you think so many people are going atheist
because
or
a lot of them
pagan?
don't. Yeah, like in certain Mormon cultures, when the women says no, that means yes to them, and they will literally take, and they don't care because to them that's theirs. You have to give because it is their body. Once you give yourself to him as his significant other, his will is you must bend.
Miss Angie, you have not said a lot.
Yeah, I know. Anna's been kind of ranting.
Sorry.
No,
What I want to know your feelings on the hardship of
Nothing.
relationships.
Yeah.
What do you classify as a hardship in a relationship?
Mostly communication.
I fucking love you to pieces. Oh my god. That is the literally that is the biggest thing. If you do not have communication with your significant other, you do not have a fucking relationship. I don't care who you are. Because if you cannot walk up to your significant other and say, I'm horny as hell, I'm going to go play in the shower, or I don't feel good, can I just lay down in bed today? Or, that one thing you did last week, I've tried to ignore it, but it really affected me. And you can't sit down and have a conversation about it. What kind of relationship do you have?
True.
You don't. You seriously don't. You are considered a yes sir at that point in time. If you cannot walk up to your significant other, and I don't care if it's guy or girl, and say, it doesn't even have to be fucking a romantic relationship. I'm talking mother, daughter, mother, son. And me and my daughter go through this a lot of times. I'll be like, I really don't like when you say that because that I understand it affected you and I cannot change it. But when you constantly bring it up and it affects it, it makes me feel like I'm still that piece of shit I was back then. And she'll be like, Mom, I'm not trying to. I'm just saying this is what it affected me of. I go, I understand that. But you're not understanding me either. I cannot go back and change it. The only thing we can do is look at the good times we had throughout those hardships. Like walking to the library. That was mine and my daughter's favorite thing because she's a bookworm.
Maybe she's just letting you know so that those who do not learn from their mistakes are doomed to do it again, I guess. So it's kind of,
right, but like I said previously, I learned from those mistakes. I changed the way I did those things. I've been changing.
Okay, but they're still bothering her.
They're still bothering her, and I do bring up, I understand they bother her. It's communication, though. Because, yes, I understand my daughter's hurt and affected because of this one person or because of this other person. But I tried my best at all those times to defend her and protect her. Especially when it came to my nephew. Trying to remember the genetics. Cousin, nephew, one of the fucking two. Think it's cousin.
Okay.
He did something that my daughter came and reported it to us, and it took everything for me and Roy not to go kill the son of a bitch. And I'll put it out there, when Brian, my ex Brian, fucking held my daughter down with his cane, I fucking whooped his ass. I got on top of him and whooped his ass. She don't remember it. She was so startled from doing that. She don't remember me whooping his ass. But there was also a point in time where I wasn't there to protect her, and that's where a lot of it stems from, where I wasn't able to protect her because I was on a work trip. And I still regret going to this day. Like, I affected my child, and that's not right. So, I mean, like, I understand my daughter has issues that she still brings up to me. I don't shoot her down unless it comes to the point where she's insulting. I want to say insulting, but it's not insulting. What is that?
What? Was she telling you her feelings, or what is it?
No. Okay, so she's telling me her feelings. She's telling me how she feels about what happened back then. And when I say, look, I understand, baby girl, I understand that it affects you. And I understand I wasn't there to help you. I wish I could change it. I wish I could take a time machine and try to do better and make better choices. And she goes, well, you just never listened to me.
She feels like you're minimizing her pain.
And that's not what I'm doing at all. I'm literally, I'm understanding her pain because fuck, I was there too. Generational trauma.
Yeah.
But since then, and this is the part where it really affects her, since then, I've gone to parenting classes, I've gone to therapy, I've done a lot of internal healing and worked on being a better parent. But she never got to see that.
Her way of healing. Maybe this is her way of healing, telling you of her emotions about what the situation was. You know, she's not trying to.
No, I understand. She's not trying to make me feel like shit when she does this. What I'm saying is sometimes the communication is not 100%.
Yeah.
And that's on both
of
our parts. That's on both of our parts, not just hers, not just mine. That's both of our parts. Because in order to have a proper communication, you have to understand both parts. You have to understand where the parents coming from, where the partner's coming from, where the kid's coming from. I mean, it doesn't matter what relationship you're talking about. Just like even in a polyamorous relationship, if Angie's feelings are hurt or your feelings are hurt, without that proper communication, how do you get past it?
You think I told him when my feelings are hurt?
No, that's because of that's my fault. Because there are times where I will minimize situations and say, and I don't mean to, but that's something I do. And I will admit that I do minimize at times. And I will say, oh, it's not that bad or something of that nature, and that's minimizing that person's feelings when they're trying to express their feelings to you.
Right.
That is not an easy thing for a person to do, is telling you their feelings. Sometimes it's very hard for people to express themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why there are times where sometimes you just need a friend that you can readdress the situation with, turn around and be like, okay, I need to express my feelings to this person. I don't know how to go about it. Could you help me? And as long as you have a good friend that stands by you, they'll help you do it. With my daughter, a lot of times I just read it and no, like, look, I'm sorry I was a shit mother. I can't go back and redo it, but I can become a better mother to you now. And we have a check-in system. If I do not check in every other day, I get a call. Are you fucking dead? No. Then why didn't you check in? Well, you said your phone was dead and I didn't want to bother Dino. So, again, there's our communication. Lack of communication. Hey, my phone's dying. If you need anything, contact Dino. Not, hey, my phone's dying. Check-ins tomorrow. Contact Dino. Like specifics. Sometimes my brain don't comprehend what she's saying because I have the comprehension of a 5-year-old. Put that shit plain out, simple, and easy for me to understand.
Yeah, sometimes people, just because I do have certain comprehensions, sometimes people believe, okay, she understands. Not all the time. I understand everything everybody's telling me. So sometimes
No, sometimes we have to explain over and over again.
over and over again for me to understand you. And it's not my fault. It's just something that I can't.
You
I don't
can't help it.
understand.
Right.
I can't understand it. You need to explain it to me, and if you don't explain it to me, I won't understand it. I'm sorry. That's just me.
I've actually taught my daughter this one. It's called, I always tell her, Shani, dumb it down for me. She goes, on a dummy level, I'm like a 5-year-old. Treat me like a fucking 5-year-old. How would you explain it to a 5-year-old? That's
I
how
used
I'm
to
going to understand it.
say it like they did it in the movie Philadelphia. Explain to me like I'm a 3-year-old. That's
Yep.
the movie Philadelphia where Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. Explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old, so I can understand you. Because
Like
if you
the other
don't,
day with the coffee pot, she was being a little stubborn. And I'm trying to tell her, hey, the coffee pot is right now on an extension cord because we're waiting for Frankie to get the new cord. So don't fuck with the cord. I will make coffee because I'm supposed to be maybe going out overnight. I will make coffee before I leave for you. I will make 2 pots of coffee. Do not touch the coffee pot. She sat there for about, I think it was like, what, a half an hour, trying to convince me that she can use the coffee pot. It
And you're
wasn't.
like, coffee pot broken, don't use.
It wasn't until Frankie stepped in and said, "Listen, listen, okay? She's telling you that because the pot is on a cord. The cord has to be plugged in above the washing machine. You have to unplug it after you use it."
Right. So
There
again,
and it's reaching across the table.
Again, coffee pot broken, don't use.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it wasn't until we explained it like that, she was like, oh, okay.
Oh, got it. And then I realized another little scenario. I have 3 jars of instant coffee. We have a freaking water cooler that has hot and cold water. Only thing you need to add is creamer and sugar. Guess what? You still have coffee.
Right. So
And
at that point,
I don't even know if I'm actually going. So
at that point in time, you're like, okay, I use your instant coffee.
Exactly. Like I said, if push come to shove, I have 3 containers here of instant coffee. Only thing you need to add is hot water and creamer and sugar. Guess what? You got coffee.
We've been on here for about an hour. Is there anything you would like to tell these lovely people that are going to watch this on Wednesday?
Just learn to communicate. Sometimes as communication is also about listening. Sometimes you have to stop being stubborn, like I am, and just listen. Because if you don't, you'll have the coffee pot situation where you're sitting there acting like you're an idiot, sitting there trying to explain shit when they're trying to tell you coffee pot broken. You cannot use. Yeah.
oh no, this is not the first time we've had this conversation. The first time we had this conversation was a different coffee pot, and it was actually broken. I needed to clean it out because the filter thing was fucked up, and she tried to make coffee and spilt it everywhere.
Yep. Dumbass me, not paying attention, not listening, stubborn.
So, Angie, keywords now. Coffee pot broken, don't use it. Angie, do you have any words for these lovely people?
Communication, be nice, check in, and don't be stubborn.
Yeah. Don't be stubborn.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed watching this. And Shani, if you get all the way through to this, I'm sorry. I don't always understand what you're trying to communicate to me. Let's say, dumb it down to a 5-year-old. I'll get it.
I understand.
And to my 2 significant others, even if sometimes I can be stubborn, I love you dearly, and I thank you for all that you do for me.
Yes.
And I do appreciate it.
I love you guys too.
And baby girl, I love you so much. You mean the world to me.
Don't say a lot of shit.
All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.